Hey, my name is Leanne, and I'm fascinated with helping women navigate how to eat, move, and care for their bodies. This has taken me on a journey from vegan, keto, high protein to everything in between. I'm a small town holistic nutritionist turned 3-time international bestselling author turned functional medicine practitioner, offering telemedicine services around the globe to women looking to better their health and stop second-guessing themselves. I'm here to teach you how to wade through the wellness noise to get to the good stuff that'll help you achieve your goals. Whether you're seeking relief from chronic ailments, striving for peak performance, or simply eager to live a more vibrant life, this podcast is your go-to resource for actionable advice and inspiration. Together, we'll uncover the interconnectedness of nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, and mindset, empowering you to make informed choices that support your unique health journey. Think of it as quality time with your bestie mixed with a little med school so you're empowered at your next doctor visit. Get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn about your body and how to care for it healthfully. Join me as we embrace vitality, reclaim our innate potential, and discover what it truly means to pursue healthfulness. Hello. We have a special guest here today. Special guest.
Oh, I didn't know it's a cue for me to say something.
It's my husband, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm worried that our dogs are making too much noise on this recording.
I'm just happy that you fixed them. I'm happy that you used your knowledge about supplements and bones and joints and muscles to get our coconut dog better.
Yeah, I mean, we have been through the ringer since April trying to fix our dog. I feel pretty good about where she's at. I didn't love that she jumped off a wall yesterday.
Actually, it makes me think, why didn't we do blood tests for her to see what she's deficient in?
We did.
Oh.
Yeah, we did blood tests. Remember, like in April when she initially hurt herself, they did blood work, but it's really hard to get them to do extra blood work. I remember seeing something about the liver in there and kidneys. I should have written it down because I did address it with the supplements. I just can't remember what I saw because I look at a lot of blood work.
So I think in summary, we're happy that they're making noise in the background.
Yes. As she falls.
So it's, you know what I find really interesting is that I guess my journey over the last probably 7 months, because before that, you did a really great job always getting me to donate blood and test my blood, and you fixed everything you could with supplements.
Yeah, but when you did your blood work, I think it was around the same time that Coconut got injured, maybe like a month before. Yeah, because my parents were visiting. We had just gotten your blood work back, and I basically looked at you and was like, I can't fix this with supplements. Like, you need to start moving your body.
Because I think your concerns were the inflammation and also, was it testosterone as well?
Your testosterone was low. Your ferritin continued to be elevated. Now, we know that like men are supposed to be bleeding often because they're fighting tigers and killing bears for us to eat.
Maybe I need to get into more fights. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you need to get into more fights and bleed more. And so when men aren't bleeding as they were naturally created to do, they're going to have more ferritin. And when they're not bleeding, that ferritin is going to increase, and then that's going to cause inflammation. So that's why we were doing the blood donations. But then there were other things.
Yeah, so I think there was the inflammation and the testosterone.
Testosterone was low, and then glucose was like a little bit high. Insulin was like a touch high. I mean, I'm picky with blood work because I want to make you functionally awesome. And so your insulin was only 10, but for a man of your age and what you do for work, I want to see it at like 5.
I'm young, just for the audience.
You'll always be older than me.
Until I'm not.
Until I'm not.
So I know that you're probably cheating over there and looking at my blood work.
You can see that I'm looking at your blood work. Seriously.
I don't know what you're
I have
mentors.
I have mentors that can look at blood work and be like, oh, yeah, I remember this client. Absolutely not. I literally cannot remember. I have to look at it.
That's okay.
I have to look at it.
So going back to where I started, I think was that I started working out.
Yeah.
And that made a big difference.
Huge. Your triglycerides went from 107 to 82 in like 3 months working out.
What does that mean?
That means that when triglycerides get elevated, I mean, there are many, many reasons why triglycerides can get elevated, like B12 deficiency will cause triglyceride increase. But for you, because your glucose was elevated, your insulin was elevated, and your triglycerides were elevated, and I knew that you weren't eating a lot of carbohydrates, because that's another reason why triglycerides can be elevated, is because you eat too many carbs. So for you, it was strictly like, if you move your body, you can get your triglycerides lower. And when your triglycerides are lower, you have less fat in your blood, and that's a good thing.
I thought it was hokey, but I think you're right. I think it worked out.
That's always the way of it, right? With us?
Yeah. I really didn't think that me going to the gym, which I do not like. I do go to the gym now. I go every second day, and I go for a good amount of time.
He's gone forever.
And I don't like it, but I like the results. And I think it goes back to appreciating the blood work and being able to see the numbers change.
It's really motivating, like, to have the numbers change.
And, so the other day, not the other day, probably a few weeks ago, I was suckered into the social media hole, and I watched this video. And it was on a channel that I subscribe to. I think it's called the Diary of a CEO. And he had this doctor on talking about creatine. I think that's how I started with it. And this doctor started listing all these foods that are great for us and all these supplements that we should be taking. And I started making notes and more notes of all the supplements until I realized, wait, I can't eat all those things. It's way too many things. And then I was thinking to myself, wait, my wife, she actually looks at what my body needs as opposed to me just eating random stuff and spending a fortune.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. It's crazy.
But how did I get suckered into that? Because I got excited. I'm like, oh, look, here's like vitamin D, creatine, magnesium, and multivitamins. And they got omega-3s. So a whole bunch of things. And I got really excited that I should be taking all of them. And then I was thinking, I probably am taking them already.
If I need them.
That's right. That is crazy.
I know. I feel like we're in this podcast age where like everyone is excited about a certain set of supplements. Okay, there are two ways of looking at health in my experience. One is all the basic stuff that you need to function. And two is, why do you need those basic things to function? What is at the root cause of the issues that you're experiencing? I think, and I've talked about this so much on the show, and I feel like a broken record, which is usually when that happens, I know I'm onto something of like, we need to set certain goals. Like right now, your goal is reduce inflammation, regulate glucose, and in turn, build muscle. Like your goal is metabolic health by the reduction of inflammation, the regulation of your glucose, and increasing muscle. So when you're listening to these podcasts, you need to take it through that filter in your mind of, okay, does this align with my goal of metabolic health?
But that's only if you've done blood tests before and you understand what's happening.
Right. And that's I think the issue that a lot of people face is we have these common symptoms like brain fog or lack of energy or mood swings. And we think, well, it must be hormones. So we focus on hormones and hormones and hormones, and it's not getting better. And so we listen to podcasts on hormones and they recommend this and that and the other thing. But the issue might not be hormones. And so we're chasing our tail on things that don't actually have meaning for ourselves. And so to kind of span out, I think we're spending a lot of time on resources that aren't custom to us. And if we just spent a little bit of time and energy and money on understanding what's going on with our body and then what our goals should be, then we won't be so overwhelmed and we won't be on the choline and the omega-3 and the multivitamin and the magnesium and the creatine and the vitamin D, because those supplements, I mean, I don't use them a lot when I'm looking at blood work because they're not necessary for the person.
So as you know, I sit in a very small space for a very long time, usually beside another person.
What do you do for work, Kevin?
So I'm a pilot. So I was flying, the last guy I was flying with, really, really nice guy. And we talk a lot because we have nothing else to do up
right.
there.
You don't sleep the whole time?
We do. We have autopilot.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need pilots.
Yeah.
That's autopilot. No,
he's kidding.
Totally kidding. And I would encourage people, hey, get your blood tests and then see what's actually going on. He said, well, he doesn't want to do that until he's better.
Yeah.
So he's been going to the gym. He's been trying to eat healthier. He's doing a good job. It's hard to make those changes.
It is.
But he doesn't want to go get a blood test because he's maybe worried about, he just wants good results to begin with. And I think maybe that's a pilot thing, or maybe a person.
It's not. It's a person thing.
It's a person thing who always wants to, they never want to go to a doctor or a practitioner and be like, hey, you're low in this, or this needs improvement. You want to show up there and get, hey, everything's really amazing. Exactly. It looks really amazing. So I think it's really interesting that the encouragement that I got, that I'm getting every time we do blood tests and numbers move, because at the end of the day, they're always going to be able to get better. The goal is not perfection, because we only know there's only one person that's perfect, but trying to strive towards getting better and better. And I think if we hold off on getting those blood tests done, then we won't know where to go and what to do, and also not see the little wins.
Shifts.
And we can't physically see them.
Yeah.
Because you said my inflammation got lower. I don't feel any different.
Right. Totally. But those things end up turning into big things later. Like by the time you're starting to feel it, it's been happening for quite some time. And that's like a big issue. A really good example is gallbladder removal. It's not like one day you wake up and your gallbladder decides to check out. It's been years of abuse toward the liver, issues with fat digestion, that it comes to the precipice of you have to get your gallbladder taken out. And then we remove the organ that's causing the issue that we think, but the issue is still in the liver. And so I work with clients 15, 20 years after gallbladder removal, and they're like, well, what's going on with my hormones? I'm like, well, the 5-10 years before you got your gallbladder taken out, your liver started acting up. And instead of addressing it at that point, and we're not told that this is a problem, but then now we're 20 plus years away from that initial incident. And of course you're building up estrogen in your body. Of course you're having estrogen excess symptoms because you have no bile to break down the estrogen properly and get it out of the body. Like just basic things like this.
I find your journey so interesting because you've been doing this for a long time.
17 years.
And it really started out with, it ended up with you finding a diet that really, a way of eating, not a diet, a way of eating that really can make change in a person's life. And
like you're talking about the keto stuff?
The keto
okay.
Diet, yeah.
That was after vegan.
Yeah. And that really did make a big difference for me as well.
Huge.
And I resisted it for a long time.
I know.
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
But then you end up in a place where diet can only go so far. And you were just talking about things, and I was thinking about mold toxicity. Because somebody could be living in a mold environment where there's mold present, and it doesn't matter what they do, how many medications they take or what supplements they take, because the mold is causing problems. Or maybe the mold is in their body, it's not even present in the environment anymore, and they're stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, the mold goes into the body and then it blocks your liver drainage and it gets stored in the body as toxins, mycotoxins. And so the very organ that is needed to detoxify the mycotoxins' first directive in the body is to block that organ so that they can set up shop. I mean, if you think of fungi in the environment, fungi is meant to annihilate, to kill, to take over host. And that's what's happening inside your own body. And so, yeah, in the case of mold, I see it more often than I like to see it. As a practitioner, once you start seeing it, especially in blood work, and you start connecting the dots, it's much more common. And you said, even if you're out of the environment. In fact, I have a client right now who she was in a moldy environment maybe 5 or 6 years ago. She's out of that environment. Her current environment is safe, but her kidneys are a mess and it will affect so much more. And she could go on all the things that she needed to, but until she corrects the kidneys, she's going to have issues with hormones. She's going to have issues downstream that if you just focus on the hormones, it's literally going to do nothing. You need to fix the root cause, which is the kidneys. So to go back to that initial piece, it's like understanding actually what's going on with your body actually is so important, because these are the same people that get put on the next medication and the next medication and the next medication. Like 40 plus year olds, when you go for a medical, they're surprised that you're not on any medications. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, that's concerning.
Yeah. So really, when it boils down to it, we got mold toxicity, we got heavy metals, and then we probably got parasites, right? Would you say those are the three things that people don't think they have that then cause things that they can't fix because you don't know they have them?
In the parasite realm, I would say like gut infections more than just parasites, because like parasites are super common, but so is like H. pylori or inflammatory dysbiosis that has bacterias like Klebsiella that's going to cause an issue downstream just as much as the parasites would. So I would agree with you. Gut infections, heavy metals, and like environmental toxins. That includes like VOCs and those sorts of things. And then mycotoxins. And I would say viruses, kind of, maybe. I don't work a ton with viruses, only because by the time you've cleared all those other three things, viruses are rarely a problem anymore. And maybe Lyme, but I think Lyme is less of a problem for the general population.
Because Lyme is an autoimmune condition, right?
No, Lyme is a bacterial infection. Well, there's bacteria, and there's also it can be considered a parasite infection depending on which one you have. Like Babesia is more parasitic.
Okay. And then the autoimmune side, though, those are kind of unknowns, right? They're very difficult to work with. Right?
Okay, so like hot take.
What's a hot take?
A hot take is like
hot potatoes?
Hot potatoes.
Oh, I don't want to touch it.
Hot take. I am changing my mind a lot about autoimmunity lately, of just like, I think a lot of practitioners address the autoimmune directly. And it's not that I could care less if you have an autoimmune condition. It's in the back of my mind, but the autoimmune condition happened for some reason. And more and more and more and more, I'm seeing that it's a nervous system issue. That's the hot take.
Okay, I like the hot take. So that's like first.
Hot off the press. Leanne's crazy mind. Heard it here first. But that's just what I'm seeing in practice. And I think that helps me stay relevant. Like before when did I start seeing clients again? 2019, 2020-ish. I was interacting with so many people through Happy Keto Body and our emails that I wasn't working with people. But now working with clients and seeing their blood work and really getting in there with them, it helps me see things in a very different perspective than when I was connecting with a lot of people, but not at the depth that I am now, I would say.
Kind of a segue, not a segue, but we're talking about AI and the chat GPTs. And I have many pilot friends who then go on chat GPT and ask them a question. And they do get an answer, but the answer is extremely difficult to actually interpret or to determine if it's a wrong answer.
Like health stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, why do I always get headaches? That was a bad example maybe. And then it gives them some answers. And they're like, start doing everything it gives them answer for. And I always think of you looking at root causes and thinking to myself, or even mentioning to my, just go get a blood test. It just start with something to understand what's going on. Because without that, you're kind of just running blind. Is that a saying?
Sure. Running blindfolded? Running blind?
Yeah,
who cares? Let's say it is.
I don't think it works.
How would you say that in German? We'll say it's a German saying.
I don't know. But it's not going to work out well for you.
No, it never. And you create such busy work.
And spend money.
Yeah. It's really I hate to say it, but it's not that complicated. But we make it complicated. We think that if we're not doing 5 million different things, that it's not going to work. And I do the same thing. I do it. I try to complicate things. We were just talking even before this recording, how me planning my own workout program, and it's the most simple workout program that I've done in the last 4 years since started lifting. This is the most progress that I've made at something that is ridiculous simple. We overcomplicate it. We think we need to be on 50 different supplements in order to XYZ. I mean, every single client that I'm onboarding in the last year are on 20 plus supplements.
That's crazy. That's super expensive too.
It's so expensive. And it's just unnecessary. And I can tell from what they're taking that we're grasping at straws. We don't actually know what's happening. We're just literally doing whatever we heard on XYZ podcast about what to do and how to do it. And it's not helping because we're not asking what's at the root of this.
But how often? I get it a lot from my fellow pilots.
Yeah.
Hey, I read this. I heard this. Isn't this good for you?
Or ChatGPT said this.
And I should take this. What do you think? Do you get that a lot?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, fair enough. They're good questions.
I get a lot. Also, I get a lot of, here, could you just look through my blood work quick and let me know what's wrong? And like, I've been looking at blood work every day nonstop for 6 years. And it takes me a long time to go through it because
Sure,
like,
it's almost like asking, hey, I have a 1,000-piece puzzle set here.
yeah, could you just put it, like, just put it together? Yeah, because it's not like, I'm not looking at it like a doctor would look at it diagnostically of like, okay, glucose is high, therefore you have X. But it's like, if glucose is high, what's insulin doing? What's triglycerides doing? What's your ferritin doing? Because each one puts, the puzzle together, or I like to think of it as sheet music of like how it all comes together. So I think a lot of questions around, well, what should I do? Or what does my blood work say real quick? I get that a lot. And it's more complicated. It's not more complicated than that. It takes more time to understand what's at the root than a quick 1-minute conversation.
Yeah, because I think it's a journey. I know when you look through blood work, when I see your work, it's not, you start somewhere and then you have a premise and then you keep on looking for more, and then that changes and you look more and you look more and you do more. It's very interesting to see your work on blood work and how it's not, you start out in one place and then you continue on, end up in a different place. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, doctors have it a little bit easier because they see a marker that's high and there's a medication that addresses that marker. And I don't necessarily blame the doctor.
No.
To some degree, they only have so much time, but it makes it easier for them because you go in, you say, hey, I have a headache or this marker is low. They give you a medication, you walk out.
And if the person is quote unquote overweight, it's lose weight and come back to me when you're 20 pounds later.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so I play this really fun game. It's like I love this about my job. So when I'm onboarding a new client, I don't read any of their forms. I don't read anything. I don't look at their food logs or anything. I first look at their blood work, and I know nothing about them. I just look at their blood work and I start to assess what I think they're like what they're struggling with. And I go through the blood work and I'm like, okay, this person probably is having brain fog. They're probably having a hard time sleeping. They're probably having digestive issues. They probably have some acid reflux. I bet you their goals are. And I come up with this whole idea in my head of this person. And like 99% of the time I'm right. And it is the most fun game because we can tell so much. Like the fact that I can see all that, and then those are the person's words that they say, this is what I'm struggling with. It's such an empowering thing to then say, like, I saw all that in the blood work. Like, how fun is that? That is so fun.
It's funny though how little people value that.
I know.
But yeah, I was really impressed with that. Remember I asked you about the full body MRIs? And then one pilot guy went right away and found the soonest.
Pronovo?
Pronovo, yeah.
Pronovo? Yeah, I think we're due for ours next year. I will 1 billion% do it again.
I was impressed how quickly he's like, okay, I see what you got out of it, Kevin. I'm going to do the same thing. And he found it right away. And I think that's just crazy.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. It's pronovo.com/Leanne. I think you get a discount. Full body MRI. Like, that is the coolest thing.
And I think it's really amazing. And I really liked his engagement where he heard of something and from a credible source, which is you, through me, and he's like, hey, I'm going to do that. That makes a lot of sense. And I think those people are really fun to work with, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Like the most fun. Element makes it simple to stay hydrated with a clinical dose of electrolytes, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. No sugar, no junk, just what your body actually needs. As a practitioner, I love that Element offers a raw, unflavored option, perfect if you're avoiding sweeteners or additives. It's an easy go-to for supporting adrenal health, proper muscle function, and overall hydration, especially for those on a low-carb diet or fasting protocols. Whether you're training hard, working long days, or just prone to feeling sluggish and depleted on a low-carb diet, this can help. Right now, Element is offering a free 8-stick sample pack with any purchase. You'll get to try their most popular flavors, including citrus, raspberry, watermelon, and orange. Go to drinklmnt.com/KDP for your purchase and get your free 8-stick sample pack. Again, that's drinklmnt.com/KDP. Unfortunately, it's a rare thing. I have a lot of practitioner friends and we talk about like the amount of people that feel like they're ready for change, but are so not ready for change. And they spend the time, the energy, the money on the protocols, the practitioners, and doing the things, but like not actually doing them or coming up with excuses around why they can't do them or blaming the practitioner or like just not being willing to put the work in. And I think it's because so many of us are stuck in a trauma response and also fearful of what life will be like if we change.
What about their environment? Do you feel like a lot of people don't get encouragement and support from others around them?
Absolutely. Like the amount of stories I've heard of husbands flat out saying like, I don't care what your goals are. I'm going to eat how I want to eat. I'm going to keep this food in the house and you just need to like deal with it. Or husbands that are, I mean, I work mostly with women, but husbands that are like, the way that we bond is through this food. You have to eat this with me. Or kids that are unwilling to help mom around the house. Like they're the stories. And that makes it a lot harder.
I mean, it's for me, it's the same for me. When I go out for dinner and they're like, oh, you should have the big bowl of rice and you should have the white bread.
Like your colleagues and stuff.
That's right. And I'm like, no, I don't want to eat it because I don't think it's good for you. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't feel like...
What happens when you communicate that to people?
They usually make fun of it or try harder. There's a few people that are really good about it. But I don't think there is one rotation when I go fly where somebody isn't like...
challenging you.
Yeah, or you should have a beer. Why don't you just have a drink with us?
Yeah. I think the alcohol thing's really interesting. I work with a lot of like high level, high performing CEO boss ladies. And the pressure to drink is very high for sure with partners and things that are happening, like events and things. And it's really challenging to encourage them in that of just like, just don't order the alcohol, get a fizzy water, like make it look like, get a mocktail, get something. Because alcohol, man. Oh.
I do want to play a game.
Okay.
The game is, I'm going to give you my assumption as a rule, and you're going to either say yes or no or correct. Okay.
Assumption as a rule, like what you think is okay.
Well,
whatever, sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Alcohol is bad. Don't drink alcohol.
Yes, correct.
Carbs are fine if you work out and your body needs the carbs. If you don't work out, don't eat too many carbs.
Can I say like sort of? Like, can I elaborate?
Yes, elaborate.
I think women need a little bit more carbohydrates, specifically if you have any hormone or thyroid issues. So I would say even if you're not working out, women that have hormonal or thyroid issues might do better on just a little bit more carbs.
Like what's carbs? Like 2 slices of bread and a bowl of rice?
No, I'm talking about like sweet potatoes, oranges, chickpeas, that sort of thing, not processed stuff. Like white rice is awesome, and I love it for increasing certain bacterias in the gut because of the resistant starch, but I don't think that it should play a massive role in the diet. Okay, and next one.
Okay, next one. Proteins are good.
Yes.
Chicken is great for you?
Partially. So we eat a lot of chicken in our house, like a substantial amount of chicken, probably, I don't even know. How many do we go through? Like 2 packs a day. I think it's awesome for hitting your protein goals and keeping the budget on point. I really like the B6 that you can get from it, but it can be more of an inflammatory protein. Like if we had all the money in the world and all the time in the world and we weren't trying to gain muscle, I would say like a variety of different meats and more. I think we could do better in like the fish area than we do. So chicken, it's not my favorite, but it's like my personal favorite.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. A whole egg white and the yolk is good for you.
Oh yeah, totally.
Should people separate them or only have the white or only have the yolk?
I mean, egg whites are awesome. I fully love them. Don't eat them raw because they literally need to be cooked in order to work properly. But there's so much choline in an egg yolk. If you have 2 egg yolks per day, you'll hit your choline goals every single day. And that's absolutely essential for liver health. Like that's a non-negotiable for me.
There's good fats and bad fats.
Correct.
Red meat is not bad.
Correct.
Deep fried foods are bad.
Is it in tallow?
How much food is in how many foods get in tallow? Isn't there only one restaurant that uses tallow?
We really need to go to Steak and Shake. I read on the thing that they have tallow. I really want to try it.
Okay, but we can make the argument that, and we go out to a restaurant, deep fried is generally not good.
Yeah, no, don't do it. We never do it. I can't even tell you the last time we had deep fried food.
Once in a while we have fries, I would say.
I love fries.
Yeah, those would be deep fried. And
we're going to the Irish restaurant tomorrow, and guaranteed I will have something deep fried. So that's, maybe like 3 times a year, maybe for me.
And I think that's totally fine. I think if I were to go, recently when I go to London, I haven't been able to get into London itself, but I'll have fish and chips. And that's deep fried.
I think, do you remember when probably like 10 years ago, my fingers used to get inflamed when I would have like inflammatory oils? Do you remember that? And like they would get super inflamed and it would hurt a lot. That kind of stopped happening, I think, because like I'm healthier and can handle more. Because when I do have deep fried foods or like I veer off plan, I don't experience that as much. Like I think I'm much healthier now than I was 5 years ago. But gosh, you remember like my fingers would just hurt so bad after that. But that doesn't happen anymore. Thank goodness, because I hated it.
You're ready for another
question? Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my own head straight here.
Okay.
Parasites are easy to get, hard to get rid of, and have a big impact on your body.
Yes. Great summary.
Okay. Heavy metals are also somewhat easy to get and hard to get rid of.
They're pretty easy to get rid of. Like, it just takes a long time.
Okay. I'll also form this as a hard-hitting question.
I love you.
Methylation tests, good or bad?
I hate them. Like, I'm just honest. I hate
Why?
them so much. I think it's a waste of money. I think you could easily just tell what B12, folate, like methylation support you need through basic blood work. I think it's probably a scam. Like, sure, it's great to know if you're doing a genetic test and you find out that you have some MTHFR situation.
Like I do.
Like you do. But I mean, I can look at your homocysteine and know instantly that you have an MTHFR issue. Okay. So...
Because I know, like, I've been asked a few times over the last weeks. Hey,
what is up with this? Somebody must have posted it on a podcast somewhere of like a special of MT. So you can do MTHFR testing through LabCorp. And I think last time I checked, it was like $170. I can do, and what I like to do is B12, folate, MMA, homocysteine, and just looking at the M markers, MCHC, MCH, and MCV. Is that right? Let me check. MCV, MCH, and MCHC. So those items will tell me everything that I need to know on your methylation, specifically MMA. So MMA is a marker that tells us whether or not, what, you're going to make a joke?
Yeah, isn't it like mixed martial arts, MMA?
I guess so, but it's also a marker. I can't remember what it stands for. Methyl acid, blah, blah. But it tells us whether or not the body is saying, I need B12. Because the B12 marker, it's a great marker for understanding if somebody is low in B12, but it'll generally test high when there's excess B12 in the urine, which the body will naturally do when it's taking B12. So the amount of people who it clearly shows that they're MMA, that they need B12, their MCV, their MCHC, and I just call it the M markers because they're MMM. So when those are elevated, we know that B12 is needed. Maybe the triglycerides are elevated. Like everything's pointing to B12 and folate needed. So like maybe we just assume that you need that support. Like I don't understand why we would spend all this money on a test just so that you can say, I have MTHFR.
Maybe it's a marketing thing, right? Where you can accomplish the same thing, but somebody marketed. I won't run it unless somebody specifically asks me. And then I'm like, are you sure you want to spend $170 on this? Give me a feedback on what I take with me when I go fly, what meal I make. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I do.
Okay.
I'm going to go into Whole Foods. I'm going to get myself a clamshell full of arugula. I'm getting myself some salad dressing, the avocado stuff, whatever.
The Primal Kitchen. Yeah.
Then I'm going to go get myself a thing of berries, blueberries. Because they're not the crash berries.
Blackberries,
yes.
They make us crash.
I really like them.
They're tasty, but...
And then I go get myself some lunch meat, which I know is bad, but I know I can get it in a package, and it's kind of refrigerated. It lasts a little bit longer. I think that's it. And then I make myself a salad.
Sometimes you put coleslaw mix in it for your
sometimes.
sulforaphanes. Yeah.
What do you think? Well, that's kind of like my go-to because I have 2 containers, travel containers. So I can make myself 2 of those salads pretty much with that. And I think it comes in probably around like $15.
Yeah.
Or maybe $60 or $8 a salad. That's pretty great.
Yeah. And it's way better quality than a salad place.
I get protein and I get the arugula, which is good for you, whatever. And you get some berries in there, which is also apparently good for you, my wife says. What do you think? Is that...
I think the only thing I would change is like finding, you know how Whole Foods has those paleo-friendly chicken breasts and they're like they're cooked and ready to go, because you'll get more protein, less fillers, and just better quality overall than the lunch meat. That's literally the only thing I would change.
What about like some seeds on top of it, like or like almonds, or do you think that's a good addition?
Yeah, I mean, you're already getting the fat from the avocado oil dressing. I'm not like I'm not a big dressing person. I would rather add it in the form of like olives or nuts or seeds for like whole foods. I don't think there's anything wrong with the dressing. Like you're a guy, so you can handle a lot more food than most women. So adding nuts and the fats, I don't think is bad. But for individuals like working toward body recomp, it's usually either or. What else do you eat for snacks? Your little Larry's cookies. You like those?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They don't hurt my stomach. They're good. They don't have any artificial stuff in it. I'm sure they're not, the best, but they kind of keep me.
What are they called? They're like Larry and something.
Yeah.
Vegan cookies. I mean, they're everywhere.
But I only do which makes it easier too.
Yeah. Ooh, here's another hot take talking about snacks. I am convinced that RX bars have a significant amount of mold. This is my new thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know when you buy medjool dates, probably you don't know this because you think they're ew. Yeah, but when you buy them and you open up the pit, sometimes they're like black inside and that's mold. The RX people are not going to check through those before they throw them in the bars. Yeah.
I don't think it's realistic.
I think any date-based bar is going to be significantly moldy.
You should test it.
How? No, I don't have time for that. I just know.
You should become a labortician.
Labortician. What do you for work? A labortician? Absolutely not.
Does that mean you're a Labrador?
Absolutely not. So I've stopped eating those for snacks.
Well, that's kind of it. I think just when I'm out there, I think I know a lot more than most people do when it comes to nutrition. Because you're married to me, you don't have a choice. Well, international best-selling author that really spends a lot of time trying to figure stuff out. We'll do that. I think we need to support one another more. I think that'd be my message for anybody who does this, and support other people around you in whatever journey they're going through. Because I think it's hard doing something that's difficult alone. Yeah. And be mindful when there's somebody who's trying not to eat something or focus on eating something, that you don't support them.
Pepti Strong is a clinically studied complex of peptides derived from Vesica faba, chosen for their ability to activate mTOR and inhibit muscle degradation. These peptides, which have a really long name, we'll go through it. It's HLP-SYS, PSPQ, and TIKIPAGT, have been shown in human and animal studies to increase protein synthesis, reduce TNF-alpha, and preserve lean mass during inactivity. Now, most women over the age of 40 lose 1 to 2% of muscle per year, which accelerates metabolic slowdown, insulin resistance, and bone loss. FIT intervenes here, not by supplying more protein, but by turning on the body's muscle building machinery. Carolyn, age 43, writes, "Within 3 weeks, I noticed better strength recovery and less muscle soreness, especially before my period, when I'm usually weaker." You don't have to accept muscle loss as being inevitable. Take control of your strength and longevity by going to healthfulpursuit.com/make. You can grab FIT today and subscription save 10% on ongoing orders. And after your third order through my link, you get 20% off ongoing and you can cancel anytime. Again, that's healthfulpursuit.com/make. I think the best question you can ask when you're going out with somebody or like planning a meal is like, what allergies or food preferences do you have? Like, it's such a gracious question. And I love when I'm asked this question. And I love asking the question because it gives people an opportunity. Like I really open the door of like, what are you focusing on right now? Because I want to respect that and I want to like encourage that in you because it's really hard to, I think being social and having food around, I think just naturally people think, oh, this is going to be impossible and I'm not going to have a social life and da 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 da.
Well, but I mean, maybe there's some things you need to give up.
Yeah.
When we're in LA, the guy's always like, oh, let's go to the street food vendor. And I'm like, no, I'm not going there. I worked so hard on trying to eat somewhat okay that I'm not going to go get myself something that might give me a parasite or might just be generally bad for me.
Yeah.
Because there's other options. For what?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
For like a mediocre meal that now I have to pay for 6 months in supplements because now I have a parasite.
Yeah, I mean, or others don't care about it, right?
So would you still like go or you just wouldn't even go?
I probably wouldn't go because there's nothing for me to eat. It's not part of that. Because
see, where I'm different, you know, like even for my sister's wedding, we had multiple events where I was like, I'm just not going to eat anything and I'm just going to go and enjoy the company. And I don't need to eat in order to have a good time.
Yeah,
or I don't need to drink in order to have a good time.
Yeah, but then that's so annoying. Oh, you should have this or
I think maybe
really
it's
annoying.
different. Maybe it's different if you like for me and alcohol, I just say like, I've been sober since 2020 and that just shuts it right down. People don't pressure somebody who says I've been sober since 2020. I think when it comes to food, I just say, you know, I have so many food allergies. It's just better if I don't eat like, and that usually does the trick. Like I don't really need to go any deeper than that into things.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair. Yeah. That's supporting other people though. I think is a really big one.
Yeah.
And being mindful.
And knowing that almost everyone you interact with is probably going through the same struggles when it comes to their health as you are.
Yeah. Or well, if they're mindful of it, because a lot of people just go through life not caring and there's like, I have a headache or my joints hurt.
I'll take Tylenol or whatever.
Or I'm overweight and that's, you know.
Just the way it is.
That's the way it is. And it's okay to be overweight and trying to figure out what's going on. Because at the end of the day, all this
so frustrating.
And it will catch up.
Yeah.
It does catch up.
Yeah.
If you're working on it, I think it's different, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm going to do something about it. And progress is mostly slow.
Oh my gosh, progress. Oh, it's so slow.
Just like even going to the gym.
It's so slow.
But just understanding that, it goes maybe the puzzle analogy. Doing a puzzle.
It's like a 5 billion piece puzzle. It's like the worst Lego set you could get. That's health.
But nobody opens a puzzle box being like, oh, I'm going to have this done in 5 minutes.
No.
So I think maybe we need to approach our health the same way where, hey, we're going to open this puzzle box and let's have fun. And I think maybe getting tests, like the blood test, is the fun part.
Totally it is.
Because you can see things move.
And it's encouraging.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I totally agree. Like non-scale victories, little shifts and things. I think one of the reasons why I like traveling or traveling back to places that I've been is I get to go to the gym that I was at last. And when I was in Victoria last time I was there was 2 years ago. And I remember going to that gym and doing a very similar workout that I did last week. Man, am I stronger. Like, wow, I'm so much more confident in the gym. I'm more confident in my body. I'm stronger. But like, if you ask me to recall 2 years, I'd be like, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same.
Yeah.
And we do that. Like we do that. We glorify
milestones, right?
Yeah.
Because you're tracking milestones.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Any other thoughts to add?
No, that's it. But
Mr.
I want to come
Kevin?
back because I'm bet you I'll have more.
Okay, in 5 years you can come back. No, I'm kidding.
He's going to sneak in. I'm just going to start recording episodes when you're home.
And put them in the folder
to
try to find it. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. This was lovely.
Thanks for having me. I mean, how long has the podcast been around for?
Like 2015. Whoa. Have we been doing this for 10 years?
Yeah, crazy, right?
What? No. Really? That's crazy.
It doesn't make...
How do I even check?
Does that make you old?
That makes me so old. I don't even... Yeah, I only started tracking episodes in 2018, but we were on episode 82 in 2018. So 52 for...
What episode is this going to be?
This is episode 500 something. What is this? 547.
I wanted a cool number. I'll take 547.
547 is pretty cool. We're not changing it. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with us. We really enjoyed our time with you, and we will see you back here next week for another episode. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Healthful Pursuit Podcast. Join us next Tuesday for another episode of the show. If you're looking for free resources, there are a couple of places you can go. The first to my blog, healthfulpursuit.com, where you're going to find loads of recipes. The second is a free parasite protocol that I've put together for you that outlines symptoms, testing, and resources to determine whether or not you have a parasite, plus a full protocol to follow to eradicate them from your life if you need to. That's available at healthfulpursuit.com/parasites. And last but certainly not least, a full list of blood work markers to ask your doctor for so that you can get a full picture of your health. You can grab that free resource by going to healthfulpursuit.com/labs. The Healthful Pursuit Podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, recipes, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Healthful Pursuit Podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representation or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified health practitioner with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.